How is everyone doing, yo? Welcome back to our channel. Another live session this week, the second one. Actually, so um, let me just send out a few quick messages here and there. Yes. So you guys let me know how's everybody doing. Have you had any trades from since the last session that we did? Gold turned out to be reacting very well at this area down here. Uh, but yeah, right. So let me just send a very quick message on um, Telegram just to let everybody know that we're actually live. Hopefully, more people are gonna join, and then we're gonna carry on and have a look at some of those instruments. We had very important news yesterday. Not that much of a reaction though, but overall, we do have some setups forming up. We also have interest rates for the British pound today, so be very careful with pound dollar and pound yen. Okay, so here we go. Having my first cup of coffee for the day. Feeling great. Right. Make sure to join the free Telegram channel if you haven't already. Find the links below this video, below the stream. There's a lot of free information. There are some free courses coming out. In fact, I think we've already launched the FTMO course, or basically how to get funded course, completely for free. Should be live on our website, trendlineforex.com. Right, so go ahead and grab it right now. Okay, message on Telegram sent. That's great. So let me just drop a quick message on X or Twitter, and yeah, we're gonna have a look at the charts. I feel like, to be honest though, it's probably gonna be gold that I'm gonna be looking to trade today potentially. I don't even know if I'm gonna get the entry, but I do like this area down here. This is pretty much where we've got the 61.8 on this last move. Okay. At the same time, we're taking out this liquidity, which I would love to see in case I want to go long. So for now, this setup is looking pretty decent. Um, I need to see price a little bit lower. Okay, and then once I get a reversal signal, I'm gonna be looking to go for a long trade. All right. So, anyways, here we go. Grab the link from here, paste it here. All right, that's all done. Let me have a sip of coffee. All right, I can see we've already got a couple of people in. What are you guys trading? Do you currently have any setups? Or are you joining this session to find out whether you have setups or not, because that's fine, you know, still gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on what we have when it comes to the majors. Mainly gonna be euro dollar and pound dollar, um, obviously gold as well. And when it comes to the cross pairs, it's gonna be euro yen and pound yen. Now, normally, if I don't have a good setup on euro dollar or pound dollar, I would turn to euro yen and pound yen and vice versa. I'm not sure whether this is going to work right now, because if I have to be honest, I'm not quite happy with the majors, but at the same time, I feel like it's not yet time for an entry on the cross pairs either. So that's why I'm saying it's mainly going to be gold, which I'm going to be paying the most attention to. See, that's a tricky one. Okay, let's start off with euro dollar. What do we have here? Well, if we look at the 1 hour time frame or the 4 hour chart, so we've got some equal highs up here around the level of 1.0950. Now, since that last tap of that 1.0950 level, we have a pullback. The question is this pullback about to end, and is price actually going again in the opposite direction? If so, then that means we could potentially look for entries right here. But the thing is, I am not very confident whether price will actually start pushing up right now. It seems quite easy to me. Why? Well, we tapped into that 1.0950 level. We had a pullback. We have a strong signal in the opposite direction. We have another one right here. Okay, at the same time, we have a test of this previous level right here. But it's, on the other hand, it's looking good because first of all, we've got this area down here, all right? For those of you trading supply and demand, well, here you are. Now we've got one test of this area, we've got a second test, and not only that, but we now have grabbed liquidity, which is sitting down here. So we then have a higher low technically, right? And we're about to close this 1 hour candle with a body up here and a second rejection candle, so rejection wick. So we basically have 3 in a row, okay? And we have this pattern. I feel like we're gonna see that continuation higher. Now, does that mean we could potentially find an entry? Looking at the 15-minute time frame, it looks like we may get something, all right? So let me just mark out this area down here. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, maybe a higher low here would give me a better entry level. But it looks like once we tapped into this area down here, we're now gaining momentum in the opposite direction. So that's a good enough confirmation so far. Okay, 30-minute candle closing pretty bullish as well. I do like this price action signal, to be honest. It's obviously not as good on pound dollar, but I'm not surprised at all. However, we did test this area though. So why am I marking out those zones? Well, as you can see, the last time price tapped into this level, it found a really massive momentum. Right, that's where we created this strong momentum to the upside. I'm expecting that since a lot of the big market players have entered their positions down here, because this move does not happen by retail traders, okay? It only happens by the big players. So if they were happy to buy the pound dollar at this price, let's say roughly around 1.92960, well, then the next time price comes near that level, they're probably going to buy again. And so far, this is what we've seen. So we're most likely going to see a continuation to the upside, okay? And again, if you don't want to enter at current price levels, you can wait for, let's say, a minor structure to form here on the 15-minute chart, okay? Pretty much the same thing with euro dollar, as you can see. Moving on to gold. Well, again, we're trading at all-time highs. Little bit of a pullback won't hurt nobody. The question is, how far is this pullback gonna go? Now, if I have to be honest, at least for now, I don't think we're gonna break below this structure. Now, I'm not saying enter a buy position right now. I'm only saying that you need to keep in mind that we are in a pullback, so there's no point to enter a long trade yet. All right, we haven't yet seen that reversal happening, but we definitely need to keep an eye on gold, because I feel like this is where we may have um, the best setup, at least at the moment. And then moving on to euro yen and pound yen. We do have a deeper pullback here though. So let's say how far we are. Okay, 61.8 for the euro yen. So definitely watch out around current price action. Maybe if we see some higher structure on the lower time frames, we can potentially try and go long. But to be honest, if I am gonna be going for the long trade, I'll probably have a look at the majors now. Okay, so I'm gonna take that off and mark out euro dollar and pound dollar instead. Okay, this is where I'm essentially going to be looking for some sort of reaction. Now, I don't know if any of you guys watched the live session on Tuesday, but we talked about gold with a pullback to this area where, we said we're going to be looking for a certain reaction. Well, as you can see, we had a pretty decent one, right? So we managed to move towards all-time highs since we tapped into this area. So let's have a look at this one now. We're going to keep an eye on this one. I'm not saying enter a buy trade as soon as price drops into this box. That's definitely not what I'm saying, but it's a high probability area where we could potentially find a higher low being formed. We also have the beginning of this momentum right here. So if we manage to pull back all the way down here to retest the level around 3030, maybe slightly above that, 3032 for example, this is going to be an even better level to enter a long trade at. So that's why we're not going to be rushing with our entries. Okay. Yes, what's up, Critical? I'm just checking out your trades, mate. Nice one on gold. Okay, just give me a couple of minutes. I'm gonna pull up on the screen. Um, Yo guys, here's my chat. In the chat box, I just send you a link where you can send me your trades, your trading ideas, your setups, so we can have a look at them. Somebody just sent me one, So that's why I'm sharing my link with all of you. It's in the chat box. Make sure to have a look. So just keep an eye on gold for a second. Well, 3044.35. So basically, if we manage to, this is the 15-minute time frame. We still got a couple of minutes until this candle closes, so that's not enough. But I feel like if we break and close above this 15-minute candle, the current one, we're probably going to see a momentum towards the upside. I just wanted to see price trading a little bit lower into this area, because remember, we've got this previous structure right here. So any stop loss orders that are sitting below that, I wanted to see the market taking them out and then eventually reversing. So let's see. Could definitely still happen. We definitely don't yet have a reversal, not even on the 5-minute time frame. So do not rush with your entries though. Okay, so watch out for price action here on euro dollar and pound dollar as well. Now the 15-minute time frame is looking pretty decent. It looks like the beginning of a momentum move. The thing is, we're going to be able to bring price all the way back up here and close above those wicks. If it does, then we're most likely going to see that continuation to the upside. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that as well. Yep, don't rush with your entries yet. We're still looking for a reversal signal. Even if you drop down to the 1 to 5 minute time frame, you're not yet gonna see price action in the opposite direction. So far we're pushing down, right? Let me have a look. Where is that 61.8? Right here, right within this area. Okay. Anyways. Okay, so let's check this out. 5 minute time frame on gold. Pretty decent trade. Positive risk to reward ratio. A nice pattern breakout. We've got this area being tested before that. So what EMAs are you? 20, 50, 100 and 200. All right. That's a pretty widely used kind of EMA settings. That's fine. If that helps you, then that's great. But I can definitely see you know what you did here. So Crystal, are you using those EMAs quite often? You know, in a trending market, those EMAs are working really good. I mean, you can see every time price test that EMA, whether it's the one up here or the one below, it kind of gives you that that rejection that you can, you know, this way you can follow the trend much easier. So as you can see, this entry is absolutely perfect. It's right before the breakout of the pattern. You know, by looking at those 5 minute candles, we have momentum in each one of those before that. So right here, the entry makes a lot of sense. Tight stop loss for gold, but you know, considering the broader picture and where we are and how price action is moving, this trade definitely makes sense. So that's a pretty decent one. Definitely, I love it. That's a great trade. The lower EMA I use for dynamic support and resistance, and the 200 for general trend confirmation. Yes, yes. The longer term one is for that trend confirmation. That's great. That's looking pretty decent. What else do we have? I didn't have a look at all of them. Are these all, is that all the same trade? Let me just have a look at this one here. So wait. So you've got 1, 2, 7. No, that's a different trade, isn't it? Yes, you know, when you're going for those short-term trading opportunities, obviously this stop loss makes sense. Um, yeah, it's a different one, yeah. So I'm curious to know. It's a great entry again, really nice one. I'm curious to know if, let's say, your stop loss gets hit, so you get taken out here, but then price again confirms your entry. Would you take that trade again? Overall, a really nice trade. Here is the 1 hour time frame. This is basically what it looks like. Or a pretty decent one. Highly likely. That's right. See, that's the thing with tight stops. Obviously, you get to get into a trade and get out of trade pretty quickly because you can still manage to get good risk to reward ratio, which is great. Couple of entries, really nice entries here. The thing is, I just wanted to see whether you get stopped out, you get a confirmation, you enter again, you set that's highly likely as long as it's not going below last confirmed lower low, I guess. Yes, that's right. That's the thing though, that not a lot of people would do that. But using, tight stops, especially the lower time frames, uh, it means that you may have to re-enter the same setup again and again. So I would do the same. I would definitely do the same. So that's amazing. Awesome results. I love it. Those screenshots on the lower time frame, this is exactly what I meant when I said you guys sent me over some screenshots because we can clearly see what is the idea behind this trade. See, for me personally, if I have an area where I'm looking for price to bounce off, and even on the bounce right here, I would still get that trade. Not in this case because I don't like this candlestick pattern. But if let's say we had either something like this or maybe a long rejection wick and then price just closing up here, I would still get into that trade. Um, but considering that maybe I place my stop loss below this area, it's probably going to be the same risk to reward ratio. So further confirmation, waiting for that pattern to play out. That's amazing. Great. All right, that's why I said don't rush with your entries. As you can see, gold is still pushing down, right? Still pushing down, still bearish. No point to enter a long trade right now. Okay, same thing here on euro dollar. Well, pound dollar has a bit more strength. Um, so yeah, even the 1 minute time frame. If I see something like this, I'd probably go long. Yes, yeah. There's obviously difference between the brokers that you are using. So let's say, for example, I'm using 8 cap here on this chart, and if let's say we have a look at this euro dollar, it's a different provider. There's always going to be difference in between prices and maybe even candles, the way they close, when they close, how do they look like when they close. That's because of the time difference, and because of where are their servers located. So let's say if you're looking at 8 cap, their servers I think are most likely located in Australia, so they're using their time zone, which means you may be looking at the 1 hour candle closing at a not the 1 hour candle, but let's say the 15 minute time frame, or the 4 hour candle closing at a certain time, and then you look at the same pair but different broker. Their servers may be located somewhere in Europe or let's say in the US, which means they have a different time zone, and that most likely means they're going to be closing in a different time. And if you have a 4 hour candle closing at a specific hour and then another 4 hour candle on the same pair closing at a different hour, there's going to be difference on how they look as well. Kindly send me your website training link again. I lost it on my system. Which link was that? Was it for what? Was it for the free course or what is it? Now you can come over here, trendlineforex.com. So I'm gonna send you. So I just dropped the link in the chat box. This is our website. You can come over to services and you can pick a course. Okay, so we have a free course as well. Multiple free courses actually. We also have a free Telegram, so you can join that if you wish. There's also a link below the stream, so you can find it there. And yeah, and pick what you want to do. All right, we can already see that rejection happening on golds. That's not enough though. It's not yet enough for me to enter a long trade, all right? So keep that in mind. We can also drop below this area and then get that reversal. This is still gonna be a valid setup. So let's see how it goes. And if any one of you guys is looking to trade the pound pairs, just be careful because later on we've got important news for the British pound. If I have to be honest, I was expecting more of a reaction during Fed's announcement yesterday. We did have some reaction, not that much though. Not that much. Okay, I do like what I see so far on gold. Let's give it a bit more time. Let's see how it goes. for a pretty decent reaction on the majors as well, guys. Keep an eye on that. Most likely gonna have that reversal here on the yen cross pairs as well, but to be honest, right now the majors are probably looking a little bit better just because we have multiple rejections right here. So I do like to see that before I go long in this case, right? If we're going to be going short, then we want to see those rejections in the opposite direction. Now, as soon as this 15-minute candle turns bullish and it comes all the way up here, we're most likely going to see that momentum coming into the market. All right, gold is teasing us, but that's fine. We can play along, that's okay. For many of my trades, I use pending orders as well, just so you know. So if, let's say, I'm expecting that as soon as we break above this previous 15-minute candle, we're about to push higher, I may have a pending order placed up here. Gotta be very quick though. Okay. So let's see how it goes in euro dollar. At least we've got some movement. In the early part of the day. Our dollar has been showing us more strength. If you have a decent entry and you have at the same time a good setup confirmed by the higher time frames as well, in this case I wouldn't mind to use a tight stop loss, because otherwise a more conservative stop loss would have to go all the way down here below all of that structure if you look to the left. Now, is this going to ruin your risk to reward ratio? Definitely will. But it's probably going to give you more peace of mind. Because the reality is that even if we drop a little bit lower and then we reverse, this is still going to be a valid setup. But in this case, you would have a loss already. So even if you find another entry, first you're going to have to make up for that loss. And then you're going to be looking for eventually to make profit from that second entry. So keep that in mind. Very, very important when it comes to, figuring out your risk management plan. Krista, I'm just checking out what you've sent me just a second ago. Alright, that looks okay. If it helps you, then that's great. I've used this too, or at least a similar one, on a Bloomberg terminal, on an actual Bloomberg terminal, because I used to work in a brokerage. So they were paying the yearly fee, which is a lot of money for a real Bloomberg terminal. And I remember they told me that the data shown in the Bloomberg terminal on exactly the same indicators is totally different than what we get as retail traders from the platforms. I'm not trying to say anything, but I'm just telling you what my experience is. Yeah, about that, I definitely agree. I'm also looking at, just for everybody else, uh, I also like to look at the daily candles as well. Okay, so if we've got an opening above or below the previous daily candle, that's, for me, that's a strong signal. I wouldn't use it for an entry signal, but just to kind of confirm a bias for the day. Um, and yeah. Let's see. 15-minute candle's about to close soon. We're not yet looking bullish. Okay. So this is the most recent high that we have here on the 15-minute chart on the lower time frames in general. So let's see if we get that breakout here. Are you talking about per month, 4K per month? Because I remember it was quite expensive. Let me have a look actually. Let's check this out. Yes, that's right. Yeah, 25K per year. In dollars. 3,000. Let's do the math very quick. So it says Bloom is available for an annual fee of around 24K per user or 27K per year for subscribers that use only one terminal. As of 2022, there were 325,000 Bloomberg terminal subscribers worldwide. So let's do the math. 325,000 times, let's say, 24,000. So here we are. I swear that's stupid money, man. But it's fine. And I mean, brokers they definitely use that, um, because it helps them with the, because you get a lot of things like let's say an insider information, not obviously not an insider information, but you get a lot more information than retail traders. So you get news and you get to see who has invested in what and how much they've invested, especially if you're following those big hedge funds and stuff like that. You can see how they allocate their assets and stuff. So a lot of valuable information, to be honest, but it comes at a price, right? Yes, yeah, very useful too, actually. 20K a year for a subscription seems like a high price tag. If you do, can you discuss the features more in depth? You know what? Let's check this. Yeah, it all comes down to this, doesn't it? Who do you know? 56 base points increase this year after Fed holds rates steady, unchanged from before statement release. LCG estimates. Well, shout out to this guy. Definitely putting in the work. That's all I can say, to be honest. Quite a few followers as well. It's probably worth following this dude. Alright, watch out for potential reversal here on gold. Pound dollar gaining strength again. Not much going on the yep cross pairs. So mainly focusing on gold, on euro dollar and pound dollar as well. I do have a pending order on gold, I'm not gonna lie. Which I've still not tapped into. See, that's way too. It looks like we have a higher low, at least for now, and it's on the 5 minute time frame. But this type of price action, it is quite bearish to me. So I'm not yet looking to enter a trade. In order for me to enter a trade, I need to see a breakout, pullback, and then I could potentially look for a long trade here on pound dollar. The thing is, I want to get in and out very quickly, so I want to make sure there's going to be momentum when I enter this trade, because I don't want to hold my trade for too long. I'm not on the pound. Yep, yep, yep. I'm gonna have to mute myself for a second. Just give me a sec, guys. Nope, nope, that's fine. Missed call. I was about to answer my phone, but I hang up. It was a great pleasure talking to you today, but I need to shoot now. Have a good one and catch you up next week. Many thanks for your feedback. Of course, man. Have a good one. I'll see you next week. Still waiting here on gold. Anyone else looking at any trades right now? Okay, I'm about to end the session in a couple of minutes. Just want to make sure that we're all clear. All right, so we're still looking for rejection here on euro dollar. Remember that even if we drop a little bit lower, I'm not going to be looking to sell immediately. Okay, so we need to see how price is going to react at those lower levels. If we have a move in the opposite direction, and I'm talking about a nice momentum move, something like this right here, then I could potentially again try and go long, or again have a look for setups. Um, haven't yet entered any positions right here, so gotta be patient with this one. Still not late to see that reaction off of this area down here. Same thing with pound dollar. Looks like we have a bit more bullish pressure in this one, but obviously we need to see price closing above those rejection wicks right here. We want to see nice close above that. Then we can wait for a pullback and eventually a continuation higher. And obviously exactly the same thing here on gold. I don't know if we're about to reverse right now, but this is a strong area. We've got the 61.8 level here as well, so keep an eye on this area. So 3037.38 up to around 3040, 3041. This is where we're looking to go long, right? Or obviously if you haven't entered already, then maybe a little bit higher depending on how price action is going to continue. But for now, we don't see that momentum that we're looking for. Okay, and when it comes to the yen cross pairs, I'm not entering short trades. At the same time, I'm not going to be looking for long positions yet. So it's mainly going to be the majors together with gold. Okay, I think that's pretty much all for now. For anybody who hasn't checked out our free Telegram channel, make sure to do so. There's a link below the stream. If you're not watching this live, then check out the links below this video. And yeah, make sure to join the free Telegram channel. Also check out our website, trendlineforex.com. We've got plenty of free resources for you to learn from. We've got blog articles, we've got free courses, and yeah, and we've got a mentorship program for everyone who wants to really take trading seriously, and you know, and eventually start making money from it. So I think that's all for now. Subscribe if you haven't done already. Ring the notification bell because I'm doing live sessions like this every single week, at least twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays mainly. So if you're happy with what you see, then there's going to be more of that. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, Balaji. I'll see you in the next one, yeah?